Welcome to the CEO Corner. Rishabh Malpani here, and I interview successful entrepreneurs to share their experiences, knowledge, and wisdom on different aspects of business based on their entrepreneurial endeavors. In the CEO Corner today, we will be going over how you can come up with a great business idea that can help set you up for success, covering topics like the importance of a business idea, how you can find genuine problems to create your business on, and what you can do to evaluate your solution before you commit to it, along with more. To share this information, I brought in Ms. Aashna Saraf. She is the founder and CEO of Creator, a business dedicated towards helping students decide and develop passion projects prominently in the field of entrepreneurship. She is a recipient of a spot in the Harvard Education Entrepreneurship Fellowship and of the Earth Prize Educator of the Year Award for her incredible influence in helping numerous students succeed with their projects. To start off, how important do you think the idea is for a business to be successful?
Thank you, Rishabh. Thank you for having me here. To answer your question, I think it's very important to have a good idea when you start a business. But I think more important than the idea is the problem statement, right? We need to be very intentional about solving a very particular kind of problem and identifying the needs that customers have.
Thank you. So to come up with a business idea, people usually start by looking for a problem and then they try to center an idea around that. But then it can get really difficult to recall the challenges that people face on a daily basis. What are some ways and things that people can do to ease this process and brainstorm issues that you face more efficiently?
Yeah, so I think the first thing would be to ask a lot of interesting questions and meet a lot of different people. So if you're ever stuck on, hey, should I pursue this idea? Or, hey, I don't have an idea to pursue at all, I would say you can start off with looking at problems that the world is trying to solve, right? Be it healthcare, be it sustainability, AI. I would start by looking at the broad problems and then being very curious and intentional about asking the right questions that would help you learn more about the nitty-gritties of that problem and then, going from there. In fact, generative AI tools like ChatGPT also tend to do a fantastic job of helping brainstorm and come up with a few ideas. There are also some ideation frameworks that you could use in order to get more clarity on the idea. So one thing that we love using at Created is the 5 whys. So essentially that's a process of asking the question why 5 times to get to the root cause of a problem and then attempting to find the solution for that root cause.
I found the 5 whys framework quite interesting. Could you please just provide an example?
The 5 whys actually came to be because of Barack Obama. So the story is pretty fun. Essentially there's a monument in the US, it's called Mount Rushmore. And they realized that the monument was deteriorating pretty quickly. So a whole search team and a archaeological team and, a restoration team was set up by the government of the US. And there was an allocated $20 million to figure out why is this monument deteriorating and how can we restore it. So Obama came into, that committee and he asked the question that, hey, why do you think the monument is deteriorating? So everyone said it's, because the limestone is falling and it's because of that the monument is deteriorating. So then he posed another question. He said, but why is the limestone falling? And then people kind of scratched their head. They just thought it was regular erosion or something like that. But after the scientists did some digging, they actually realized that it was because a lot of harsh chemicals are being used to clean that monument. So they came back and they said, it's because of harsh chemicals. We should use herbal chemicals. So other people like the janitorial services came in and said, no, we've tried using herbal chemicals. It doesn't work, because the monument gets very dirty and the herbal ones don't clean it effectively. So Obama came in again and asked the second why. Said, why are we using harsh chemicals? And it turns out that it was because that a lot of birds were actually pooping on the monument. So he came in again and he said, why are so many birds pooping on the monument? What about this monument is so attractive? Like there's no poop around it, but just on it, right? And then it turns out that there's a breeding spider colony that appears on that monument. So then Obama came in again. He said, but why is there a spider colony there? No other spider colonies nearby, it seems. So obviously, the birds are getting attracted to the spiders. They're eating the spiders and then pooping where they're eating, essentially. So he said, why is it that so many spiders are attracted? And then it turns out it's because of the light and sound show that the monument hosts every evening. So the strong sort of lights are what are attracting the insects and the spiders. So they form a colony at the monument. They breed out there. That attracts the birds. The birds then eat spiders and poop there, which necessitates the use of harsh chemicals, which then causes the limestone to erode much more than normal. So by asking the question why 5 times, he was actually able to understand and creatively come up with a solution, which was, we don't need to spend $20 million. We just need to stop the light and sound show, right? So through that, he came up with a very seemingly easy solution, but it only happened because there was a lot of questioning, intentional questioning that took place.
Yeah, so you just basically use that framework to just derive and clear out your problem to get a good idea based on that.
Exactly right.
After the problem is translated into a clear business idea, what's the best way to assess if the idea would have a high scope for success?
I think the first thing to do in that case is get some validation from users, right? The two things that work really well, in my opinion, is the first one would be, would someone pay for this service? That's sort of the most authentic way to get validation. That I build something, it's good enough that people put a price tag on it and they're willing to pay that sum. I think that would be the first form of user validation. The second one would be, is this something that people are willing to share with others? And not just, like your parents or your friends or your family, but someone who you don't know, probably you show them like an app that you've built or a product that you've created. Is this something that they want to share with others and learn more about? That's what I would say.
Okay, so is there like a specific group of people you suggest we just generally sort of propose this problem to?
I think it depends on the product idea that you have, right? Like, let's say you're building an app for Gen Z, right? Then you'd want to approach people who are Gen Z. But if you're building, let's say, a device for like elderly citizens, you'd probably want to approach people in old age homes or grandparents, right? So I don't think there's one dedicated user group, but I think it's more around who would benefit most from my product, go directly to them and test it on them.
Okay, so now how important for people to be passionate about their business ideas?
100%. It's very, very important. I don't think you can do a business without passion, and people who've really made it big or solved big problems and created business empires, the core for them was never money. It was the deep desire to solve a problem that nobody else had attempted to solve, or maybe some people had attempted to solve it, but they just couldn't get it right.
To what extent do you think this passion should play a part in whether you go on with the execution of your idea or not? Like, let's say somebody has a great idea that has gotten excellent feedback, but then just their passion is not 100% there, but maybe it's like 75% there. Do you still think like passion should play a role in either negating whether somebody should go ahead with that idea or not?
So for a person like me, it wouldn't work. Like, I need to be 100% dedicated and passionate about what I want to pursue. But there are some people who don't value passion as much as I do, right? So I think it's a very personal choice on what people want to pursue versus not. In that case, I leave it entirely up to the entrepreneur to figure out the importance that they place on passion.
Okay, so now final question. What are some common barriers that founders face as they're just starting out and that people should generally consider before beginning with their business idea?
I think people should consider quite a few things before beginning their business idea. The first one is definitely, who do you want to serve, right? What is the population that you're designing this for and how well do you know them? Second would probably be the feasibility. Like, do you have the skill set? Do I have the skill set to actually build maybe 50-60% of what it is that my business idea is? Let's say I wanted to launch an AI company, but I don't know the first thing about AI. It's probably not going to work because you're too dependent on other people at a very initial stage on helping create your vision, right? So either you need to bring in a co-founder or you need to have enough knowledge or be willing to learn that kind of knowledge in order to begin that company. So yeah, those are the two things that I'd say.
So then that's all for today. I hope you guys all got some fruitful takeaways. I pause frequently, so stay in the loop to learn new things and enhance your business understanding. Thank you, Ms. Aashna, for sharing your knowledge. And for now, the CEO Corner is closed.